one who organized and arranged everything for our class reunion. And she asked me to be the spokesperson for the class of 1983. I think she asked me because when we were in high school, I was voted the most talkative, and I think she thought it was appropriate that I'm still the one who does all the talking.
On the phone, you're on the phone for at least 4 hours.
And if my information is correct, we were the largest graduating class to graduate from Cadiz High School. We graduated with 120, and the class of 1976 coming in behind us with 118. We were a close class, and for most of you that from here can relate, we grew up in a small community, which makes us all close. But for a lot of us, we grew up in large neighborhoods, which in my neighborhood, there were 7 of us alone that grew up in that neighborhood, and oh God, now I'm lost. My mom will be saying, don't say that. Anyhow, there were 7 of us in my neighborhood, and that's a lot of time spent playing together, riding the bus, or walking to or from school together. And one of the memories I have walking to school was when we were in 3rd grade. President Nixon had changed the daylight savings time, and it was dark when we went to school. So we had to carry flashlights, and it just shows how much times have changed since we were in school, or since we were little, because kids today aren't allowed to play in their own yards without adult supervision, and we were walking to school in the dark. When we were little, our parents didn't call and arrange play dates, and we didn't call the kids that we played with play dates. We called them our friends. And if you wanted to play, you just walked to someone's house, you knocked on their door, and you asked them to come out and play. There was no such thing as the minivan taxi. Wherever we wanted to go, we rode our bikes. Now, us West Warren Street kids, when we were 11 years old, we would ride our bikes to Sally Buffalo. And we carried fishing poles and tackle boxes. I am the one who got to carry the worms because I was the one with the bike basket. We made it there without elbow pads and knee pads and helmets. And we didn't fish for hours, and we did that without adult supervision. Now, it's just a wonder we even made it to junior high. You know, people didn't go places, and they didn't travel like they do today. Everything we needed was in our own little towns. And it was unheard of for an 8-year-old to be on a traveling ball team, and their parents have to drive them 2 or 3 hours to some major city to play ball. But that's what it felt like for us when we were in junior high sports, because we had to drive all the way to New Athens, or all the way to Hotel or Cadiz to play that game. And these places seemed hours away for us. And my mom has often told this story about a boy that was on my brother's baseball team who didn't think he could make it all the way from Cadiz to New Athens without first taking an aspirin. Now that is a long way away. But we spent those 2 years in junior high being rivals, and then we were expected to come to high school together. And this was a big adjustment for everyone. Not so much for the Cadiz kids because we were already familiar with the school and with the teachers and having upperclassmen, but for the New Athens and Hopedale kids, they were the upperclassmen. And now they had to come to this huge school with all these kids. And for some, this was the first time they ever rode a bus to school. But you know, we made it through, and we came together as classmates, and we were a very close class. And I spent this week watching home videos that the Hawthorne family had taken of us during high school, and it was evident that we all genuinely loved one another. And not only were we a close class, we were a competitive class. And our class excelled in all sports throughout all 4 years of high school. Our class set records that no other class has ever matched, and we were known as the class of first. For example, our girls' basketball team was the first girls' team to make it beyond the first game in sectionals. And our classmate, Lisa Renzi, was the first girl to reach 1,000 points. Another classmate, Greta Peterson, set 6 school records in girls' track. And for all you golfers, you may know that it is said that the word golf originated from the acronym Gentlemen Only, Ladies Forbidden. Well, our classmate, Lisa Kelly, made history at Cadiz High School by being the first girl on the golf team. And she was later followed our junior year by a fellow classmate, Jennifer Klein. Now when Mr. Shade came to Cadiz to be the band director and he introduced for marching band, we were in the 8th grade and we were marching in the high school band. And this was the first that band was being recognized as a sport and not just entertainment at the football game. The average amount of seniors in band had always been 5, but there were 22 senior band members from the class of 1983. Woo! But the most prominent of all sports, it always has been and always will be, football. And since the inception of Cadiz High School, there has never been an undefeated, untied football team other than our season. And that year, only 20 points were scored on us, and that was during the very first game. We've also found out that our class has also set a record. We just found this out last night. We have been the largest class to attend the alumni, or have the most attendance at the alumni. So there was, how many of us tonight? 71 scouts. So this is what we looked like when we went to school. The boys and girls all basically dressed the same. We all wore jeans, and designer jeans were the rage, and we wore them cuffed up. And we wore our jeans tight. Now, for some, I'm talking lay on the bed to get them zipped tight. We were the ones who had to take a butter knife to jam the pockets down in to get their lunch money down in there. And they just hoped by the time they got to Maz's for lunch, their jeans had stretched out far enough to get that money back out. We wore skinny little belts. Now, these belts were merely an accessory, because our jeans were tight, we didn't have to worry about it. And we carried combs like these in our back pocket to comb our feathered hair. We wore high-top Reebok tennis shoes. Those were always left untied. Or we wore Nike tennis shoes with the big red swish. Colored or printed shoestrings were the big fad, and my shoestrings say Cadiz Cardinals. ISOD and polo shirts were popular, and they came in all colors, even pink for boys. Now, we never buttoned the top 3 buttons, and the collars always had to be flipped up. Yes, and we would wear these 2 at a time for what was known as the layered look. We were the generation of big hair and the beginning years of the mullet. Girls wore blue eyeshadow and lots of it with blue mascara. And we had big earrings that came in all shapes, sizes, and colors to coordinate with those layered polo shirts. And we were also the generation to introduce the shocking behavior of piercing. Now, it wasn't quite like the body piercing we're seeing today, but guys started getting their ears pierced and girls started getting 2 or more holes in their ears, and that was shocking. So, now that you know a little about us and what we look like, I'm turning it over to Dawn.
She didn't cry. She always cries. Good job.